I don't care if you've been with someone for 20 years. I don't care if it's been 60 years. If that person is not the right one for you, if you cannot have soul level connections and conversations, if you can't feel safe saying certain things or speaking your mind or being your truest self, that person is not for you. I was reading this book not too long ago, and when I was done with the book, it was a very dark book, but the book, he showed his worst self in the beginning. Like he introduced himself to her in the beginning as his worst self, and she still fell in love with him. And I got to thinking about that. Why in dating, why don't we show like our worst selves? And I know there's a literal reason why. We probably all know the reason why we don't like to introduce ourselves as our worst, right? But what if we did? I was just got to thinking, like, wouldn't that shorten time frames? Like, wouldn't it make it where you wouldn't have to date people or find out 6 months, a year, decades later that this person isn't the one for you because you don't love all their parts. You just love, the surface level things. Would that be crazy? Like me being on a first date talking and just being like, hey, by the way, I have trichotillomania. I pull my hair out. By the way, I've had an anxious attachment style that I'm healing from. Oh, by the way, whatever that thing is. But then I'm like, wouldn't that be a good thing? Wouldn't that actually kind of shorten the time frame? Like, wouldn't that actually help? Wouldn't that help us be more vulnerable? I think about like myself, and I think about how hard it was for me to be vulnerable for so long because I noticed people wouldn't be vulnerable with me. So I started hiding myself. I stopped, like, I wouldn't be affectionate. I wouldn't hold hands with people. And if I did it, it was because I knew they wanted to, not because I wanted to do it. I did things that I absolutely would not have done if I was in my right mind, but I did them because I wanted to please other people, because I wanted to wear that mask. I wanted to be what they wanted me to be so that they would accept me. But what if I didn't think that way? What if when I was younger, I decided I'm going to be my best self, my truest self. You get all of me 1000%, and that's it. This is all I have to offer you, and will you accept me or will you not? I just know going forward in my dating world, when I start to date again, I want that to be my truth. If they have a question, I'm going to take a risk giving them that answer. I'm not going to sugarcoat what I'm feeling and what I'm going through. What I want so bad, and I will not settle for anything less, is I want a man who allows me to feel safe, who allows me to feel loved. And I mean safe physically and mentally. And that's what a lot of women want. So if a guy's watching this, a lot of women really, that's like what we really want. Someone who we can respect, we can love, someone who we could trust, who has integrity, who leads. And like Jill Scott says, if he could tell me what to do, he could tell me what to do. And if he can't tell me what to do, he can't tell me what to do. And I want that on a spiritual, like deep. I want someone, you see people and you're like, they finish the other person's sentence, or they like know what they're thinking. They're not twins or anything or doing anything strange like that. They're just people who know each other so well that they can do that. And I think about this so often because when I do read fiction books, they always have this character, this male figure, this male lead who, he's not perfect. And that's what I love, is when they're not perfect. They're regular men, or some of them are powerful men, but they are men. And they have these qualities that we look for. And it's hard because it is a fictional character, right? This character is not real. But most writers base their characters off of something they experienced, they've seen, people they know, and it could be accumulation of all of these things. But they're based off of something real, right? To me, that's how I see it. They're based off of something real. So I started saying to myself, man, Alana, in this world of fake relationships, of surface level, friendships and all these things, why can't I have someone who is willing to get to know me on that level? Why can't I have someone who's willing to work with me on different things, who's willing to sit down with me, who's willing to have those hard conversations, who's willing to be their best version of themselves for themselves, which in turn makes it for us, like us together as a unit? Why can't I have that? Why can't you have that? I think we settle so much just in this world because we see the things on TV. We see the perfect couples, but they're not so perfect. They're getting divorced. We see the people who are tired. They're not fighting. We see the people who got married just out of convenience or because they were in love. And love, newsflash, is not enough. Love is not enough to get married. And I'm not perfect. I'm not in a relationship. I'm single. But these are just my thoughts. And I've came into this year with different standards, a different perspective. Like, I'm not settling for people. I'm not settling for men who are giving me mediocre time, who are not about me. and about themselves, people who are not driven, who are not led by something bigger than themselves. I don't have time for that anymore. And I used to waste so much time because I did not feel worthy. I did not feel valued. I did not feel loved. I did not feel that within myself. So I searched externally for someone to give that to me. And they could not. They could not give that to me. I had to find that in myself. You have to find that in yourself. And that is, this just got me, like they said, this little topic got me in this little whole rabbit hole going way down in there. But the overall topic of it all is being our authentic selves, having our standards, loving ourselves enough so that other people or this other someone will love us. Because if we don't love us, like what? How can we expect somebody else to love us, you know? What if we were just 1,000% authentic, just showing up as ourselves, no one else, not the what you want to see on social media, not who you show up as so you can get the likes, but being you, that version of yourself when you go out on dates, when you go out in the world, when you go out on YouTube, when you post anything. Be you. What if you did that? And someone fell in love with you, not the fake you, not the mask. Because that's another thing, is people fall in love with the best version of you, and that best version may not even be you. You may have created this person, this version of yourself that has nothing to do with who you really are. And now I'm all for creating your character, like becoming the best version of yourself, being that girl you want to be. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying where you are faking who you are and then expecting the other person to love you. Just keep thinking on that. You know, I want to hear people's thoughts on this. Because like I keep saying this to myself, there are 4 billion men in the world. And now I don't know which part are married or others, they might not like women, you know, things like that. I'm not taking all that into consideration. I'm just saying that there are 4 billion men in this world. And even if there's 100 or 1,000 or 100,000 of them that I could actually date, meet, interact with, I know that one of those people, one of those men is my someone. And I think we get so hung up on the people in front of us. Oh, the guy we dated 4 years ago who set our heart on fire and we were so in love. We get stuck on these people. But the truth is there are so many fish in the sea. Like, I know that's like a cliche thing, but there are so many. There's so many. The world is your oyster. I think that's one of the quotes, right? The world is your oyster. Excuse me. The world is your oyster. Go out there and find that person. Meet that person. And in order to meet that person, you can't just be like in your room like a hobbit. Go outside. Go to the places you like to go to. If you're like me, you like books, go to the library. Go to seminars, like for the things you like. Go to Comic-Con. Go to different conferences. Go travel the world. Go be in environments that you love. Go to the movie theater by yourself. Meet people. And be your authentic self. And I'm telling you, I believe this 1,000% that you and I, we'll find our one person. We'll find that human being. And there are so many people, they're like in the totally wrong relationships right now. And they're sticking around because of reasons that are not valid, because of the kids. I think my least favorite excuse is because of the kid. I don't have kids, and someone might get mad at me in the comments. That's cool. I do not agree. I do not think it makes any sense to stay with someone who you are not in love with for your kids. Because your kids see that. Kids see your interactions. They see how their parents do not love each other. They may be like, oh, I want my mom and daddy to be together. But as they get older, they see the animosity. They see the anger. They see that. And then they start to imitate that in their relationships later on. That would be my worst fear. And so, like I said, I don't care who asks me, who gets upset about that. That is not a valid reason. That is not a valid reason to stay with someone at all. And so just think about the different things in relationships, people you've been with. I don't care if you've been with someone for 20 years. I don't care if it's been 60 years. If that person is not the right one for you, if you cannot have soul level connections and conversations, if you can't feel safe saying certain things or speaking your mind or being your truest self, that person is not for you. That person is not for you. And this is a lesson I had to learn. I have to learn. It took me, I won't say 33 years because I am 33, but at least since I've been, 12, 13 years old, it's taken me since then to learn this lesson. They're not for you if you can't be yourself. The people are not. The subscribers, they're not for you if you can't be yourself while you're out here talking on YouTube. The followers on Instagram or TikTok, they are not your people if you can't be your authentic self in front of them. I don't care. I see people on YouTube all the time where they're doing stuff and it makes me crack up. You are the funniest human being I've ever seen. You're goofy, you're corny, and I love that because I love goofy, corny people. But there's other people who are like, that's stupid. So why would you follow them? That makes no sense to even interact with it because you don't like that personality. It doesn't resonate with you. It doesn't resonate. So be yourself and the right people will show up. There's people who are on YouTube where they have the worst quality videos. They are showing up in their, I don't know, they have like dirty kitchenware in their background and everything. And I love their videos because they're being their true self. They're speaking from their heart. And I do not care if they do it in a t-shirt, a nice t-shirt, or if they do it with a sweater, or if they do it in their underwear. I don't care as long as they're getting the message across and being their selves. I'm tired of the fake and phony, and I'm challenging you to be tired of it too. I'm challenging you to, when you go and you talk to people, be yourself. Remind yourself, catch yourself when you start to put that mask on and be the perfect version of yourself. Be you. And I think, no, I feel, I know, if you are that person, you will attract the right tribe, the right partner, the right lover, the right opportunities. Be you. Don't be what they want you to be. Be you. That's even how some of us end up in the wrong jobs. Like we go to these jobs and we're being the person we think they want us to be. No, be you, because the right opportunity, they're going to know it's you. They're going to pick you because they know you are you, and that's it. That's all. Like that is the story. That is the message. It is be you. And I know y'all probably get tired of me repeating myself 5 times in a video, but honestly, if you're like me, we don't listen. We're hard-headed. Humans, we're hard-headed. Be you. Be you. Authentically you. That's all I have to say for today. Be bold. Be courageous. Be you. Authentically you. And the right people, they're going to love you for it. And when it comes to dating, the right individual will be attracted to you. Because I'm tired. I don't know about you. I'm tired of settling. I'm tired of having mediocre relationships and surface level situationships. I want true love, authentic love, where, you see people where they're so in love that when the person leaves this earth, so the other one's like, what am I going to do with my life? Because this was like my soulmate. This is my partner. I shared everything with them. And I'm not saying you need to do that. It has to be that deep. But when I see those type of relationships, it always makes me like, wow, like I want something like that, where I don't want my partner because I, pass on. I don't want them to not stop living their life, but just to know that someone is missing you that much, that knows and loves you that much, that they're just like, dang, it's weird having life without you. Not just because you're not here, but like I don't have that person that I had that soul connection with. I don't have another person like that. And I think that is just powerful. Like it gives me goosebumps, like that there is someone out there like that for you. And there's someone out there like that for me. As always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. With all my love, Lana.